Hey, and welcome to the vlog. I'm glad that you're with me. I was in China last week. I got back, I was there the whole week, and it is a real eye-opener to see just how much consumerism is taking over China. Now, you're in Shanghai, and Shanghai is obviously, it's like the New York City of Asia, along with Hong Kong and Tokyo. But big buildings, the second tallest building in the world. They got to go up. It's quite a place. And here's a stat that I think will probably shock a lot of people. China is adding 60,000 cars to their streets every single day. 60,000 cars a day. That's going to be about 22 million cars this year in China. And Volkswagen Group, which is the largest seller of cars over there, would include VW, Audi, Bentley, and so on, is 4 million. Just that one company is 4 million. As a comparison, Canada is 1.9 million cars a year, and the United States is around 17 million cars. Even when you add Canada and the US together, we don't add up to what China is consuming. And this is accelerating in China. So a lot of the investment with car companies is going to China, and a lot of the cars that we're seeing in our markets has a lot of influence now from the Chinese marketplace. So it's a real eye-opener to see. They're pushing headlong into electrification. At least the manufacturers are trying to help alleviate some of their smog issues. But the problem in China, as most of you know, is that their electricity is made from coal. And that's one of the reasons they have such dirty air. When you're walking around, it can sting your eyes. You can actually taste in your mouth this burning, I don't know, it tastes like burning coal. That's what it tastes like. You taste something. And it's quite interesting to see. So they're going to get people to stop driving gasoline cars. No diesels are allowed to be sold, by the way, except for trucks and buses. And then you are going to get them to buy electric, which is good, but still polluting using coal. So it's a real challenge for them. All right, what else is going on? I have to tell you, I've been overwhelmed by the number of emails I've been getting with all of these questions. So thanks to you. It causes a bit of a problem for me because I would have to do one of these video blogs every day to keep up with the number of emails, but keep them coming. Go to my website, motormouth.ca. I'm going to try and go through all of them here on the show. Some I won't do if they're not really that relevant for a lot of you. So let's just push through this. Keep the questions coming. If I don't get your question, you can resubmit it, and I apologize if I don't. So the first question, I like this one, by the way. This is from Quean, I think is how you say the name. Lives in Edmonton. Love your channel and your reviews. My family was expanding. I regrettably sold my beloved 2002 E39 M5. Of all of the M5s, that was my favorite. The E39 M5 was a beautiful, the E39 generally was a beautiful car, sold from 97 to 2003. Absolutely my favorite 5 Series they ever made. To this day, I'm still missing driving her every summer. She was perfect balance between comfort, power, beauty, luxury, and handling. Absolutely. Plus, manual transmission. Do you have any recommendations for my next car that we can check off all of the above requirements? It's a healthy budget. The budget is $80,000 to $95,000. Now I thought about this. The E39 M5 was sort of the last of the kind of old school BMWs, manual transmission, 400 plus horsepower V8, rear wheel drive, no all wheel drive, just a beautiful chassis, simplified interior, a wonderful car. And these cars are really quite collectible now, especially if they're in good shape. What's happened with the 5 Series, which has happened with every car, is that it's grown in size. And not just the 5 Series. The 7 Series now is gigantic. The 3 Series now is roughly the same size as the 5 Series that was sold until 2003. So here's my thought process. Get an M3. So an M3 is now roughly the same size as your old M5. It has doesn't have the V8 engine. It has the twin-turbo inline 6-cylinder. Because it's a modern BMW, it's lighter. it's stiffer, it has better handling, wonderful tractability from the engine due to the turbochargers, the 2 turbochargers that are on there, and is still available with a manual transmission. Now, you'll go to the dealership and they'll say to you it's only available with the dual clutch. I talked to a friend of mine, a colleague of mine, Benjamin Hunting, who writes out of Montreal, and he said, no, if you drill down into the order guide, it is still offered with a manual transmission. So if you want a manual, car roughly the same size, an M, can't go wrong with that, and has all the power and go that you'd miss from the old M5, and you have the right amount of money, that's one to consider. Now, if you want an automatic, then I would open the door to an M3 with the automatic, and also a C63S, which I drove and there was a review recently. It's a wonderful car, so that's one to consider. But M3 might be the way to go. Next question comes from Manuel De Roca from Montreal. Love your channel. Thank you very much for that. My question is, will the Volkswagen Golf Sportwagon 4Motion come with a manual transmission? Now, initially, the Golf Sportwagons were not going to be sold with a manual transmission in Canada, only in the United States. But going to the launch of the All-Track, that's their SUV-looking version of that, and the Golf Sportwagon in the United States, they initially came out with a manual, and then they said it would come to Canada. So all indications are that yes, it is coming, but for the 2018 model year, which is worth waiting for, because you're going to get the new display audio system in the 2018 Golfs, which I think is quicker, faster, better graphics. So it's a win-win. Check with your local dealer, find out about when those 18s are going to be ordered, but I do believe that the manual is going to be available for 18. Next one from Jason in Barrie, Ontario. I enjoy your car reviews and I'm a subscriber. I recently purchased the 2016.5, that's the updated Mazda CX-5, and really enjoying it. The handling is impressive, and I would agree with that. Looking at buying a second vehicle and looking at another Mazda, the Mazda 6, is there any reason I should be concerned about the high compression ratio in the Mazda engines? What is your overall opinion of Mazda? Well, Mazda has culture and DNA in their brand of putting sort of handling and performance at the forefront, and it does show through. And the other thing I think that Mazda does particularly well is I believe they do class above interiors. So in the compact utility class or the mid-size sedan class, when you look at their cars, often if you you can get a much better looking vehicle compared to many of its competitors. So you have really nice soft touch materials on the dash, beautiful looking switchgear, often two-tone seats. You also get the controller in the center which operates the screen, very similar to Audi's MMI system. So kind of premium car features in a non-premium brand. So that I like about Mazda. So they're handling their interiors, and I think their styling is quite good as well. They are not, as of today, at the same level when it comes to long-term reliability and durability as some of their other Japanese counterparts. So I think their SkyActiv technology with engines is wonderful. I would suggest that you do a lot more reading on web forums for Mazda. And here's the great thing. For every single brand and for every single model, there is a web forum out there. And you can go and read what other owners of your car or potential car have issues with. And the problem when you read these forums, because I've been on Porsche forums for many years and BMW forums, is that you really only hear the negative stuff. You don't ever hear people glowing about their car when it's running perfectly. They don't have a reason to. They have a reason to go and gripe when things aren't going so well. So take everything you read with a grain of salt, but you'll start to see trends there. I think it's a great option. Here's the thing. If you're going out and thinking of getting a Mazda 3, you should be looking for a nice discount on that car. First of all, mid-sized sedans are not selling anything the way they used to in the last few years. A couple of winners, the Camry always is a top seller, so is the Honda Accord, but as soon as you start to get away from those two cars, it falls off really quite dramatically. So if dealers have a Mazda sitting on the lot, you should be able to get a good rebate from the manufacturer and a discount from the dealer. Oftentimes you'll have cars that have been sitting there for months because people do what you do. They come onto the lot and they go right past the sedan and go to the utility vehicle, which you did, getting a CX-5, which is a wonderful choice. And they're not going on the lot and going right to the sedans. Even small cars like the Mazda 3 hatch and sedan, sales are going down every year, and they're going towards utility vehicles. So if you're okay with driving a sedan, and I'm all for it, you get better handling even than your CX-5. You sit lower to the ground. You get lots more space in the back, and the trunk is big. Actually, interior volume is probably more useful often in sedan for taking passengers. There you go. Try and get a deal. I think you probably can. Or always go to the Mazda website and see what kind of incentives they have on that month. Now, here's one thing I want to mention. Whenever you see advertising from Ford or Mazda or Chrysler or any manufacturer that says $2,000 or $3,000 off, that is from the manufacturer. That's from Mazda Canada, Honda Canada, whatever it is. So they're putting $2,000 or $3,000 on the hood of the car to move that car off the lot. Now, when you go into the dealer, the dealer's going to say, oh, but we're giving you $3,000 off. No, the head office is giving them $3,000 off. You can still ask them for a discount from the dealer. Now, margins on new cars are very small, so keep that in mind. Probably maximum 10%, I would think, for a new car. So they've got to pay the sales guy out of that. They've got to keep the lights on and all that kind of stuff, which is often why they want to sell you the extra warranties and things like that. So I call it the trifecta. You want to get money from the manufacturer, so a few $1,000 rebate. You want to get a discount from the dealer, and then you want to try and get that zero financing or the low financing, 1.9, 2.9%. If you can get all three, then you're way ahead of the game. So give that a shot. Jillian or Julian from, it's an interesting spelling, from Edmonton. Hey, motor guy, I like that. I'm going to buy a new car after my graduation. My budget is $35,000 Canadian. Good for you. That's a good amount of money, and congratulations on graduating. Sounds like a university or college. I don't know how to choose from entry-level luxury brands or non-luxury brands. For example, what is the difference between a Civic hatch and an Acura ILX base trim? Almost the same price. Similarly, a RAV4 top trim versus a Lexus NX 200 base. Which is better in terms of long-term reliability and overall performance, and how much higher the maintenance costs for a luxury car regarding the above examples? I would suggest that for many people, not just Julian coming right out of university, you're better to get the higher trim of the non-premium brand, because often, oh, this is the way the car industry, I'll just tell you the way it works. They have one car that's the non-premium, then they put in the premium version, but in order to get all of the features that are on the loaded non-premium brand, you often have to add those as well to the premium brand. So you're better to get all the stuff you want and all the goodies in the non-premium brand, which are often similar and based on the same vehicle. For example, the RAV4 and the NX from Lexus are based on the RAV4 platform. Now, granted, the NX does have a much nicer interior. And here's the thing, other thing with premium cars, you get a 4-year warranty out of the gate instead of 3 years. Buying a Toyota RAV4, wouldn't worry about it too much. I think you'd be totally fine with that. But getting an NX, you're going to get a 4-year warranty. You're going to get a different experience at the dealership. They're going to treat you differently. Often they'll valet your car. They'll give you a courtesy car. They wash your car, all that sort of stuff. Is that worth the extra money? Probably not. And then you're going from a 4-cylinder in the RAV4 to a turbo 4-cylinder in the NX. The RAV4 has a nice suspension, a compromise of comfort and sort of a little bit nimble. It's better than it used to be. The NX is really soft. It really wallows in the corners. It's got that traditional luxury feel. Now, a Civic hatchback top trim versus an ILX, same kind of thing. You're going to get a 4-year warranty with the Acura. The Civic hatch is newer. The ILX is sort of an older vehicle that needs to be updated. So here's the thing. You're out of school. You got a $35,000 budget. I would get the most car you can with a non-premium brand. You have your whole life to move up to a premium car. If you're just getting out of school, there's no rush. So first car might not be a bad idea to get everything you want in a non-premium brand. You have your whole life to upgrade to a premium product. And one of the problems with buying a premium car, ask me how I know, is once you've owned a premium car, it's really hard to go backwards. It's easy to go forwards, but once you have a luxury car of some kind with all of the features and things that they have, it's hard to go back. The good thing is a lot of car manufacturers are adding in all of the features that were exclusive to premium cars not that long ago. Heated steering wheel, heated seats, backup cameras, all of the stuff that was only in luxury cars is now available in non-luxury brands. So that's my advice. You got your whole life to get a luxury car. Start out with a nicely equipped regular car and get what you like. All right, this is an interesting one. Hamid, who lives in Thornhill, Ontario, thinking of buying or leasing a Volkswagen CC 2017 Wolfsburg Edition in Canada. What's your thought about it? What would be an alternative? Well, I did a little research, I did a little digging. A Wolfsburg Edition is 42 grand, okay, from 42 grand. It says here on the VW website, part coupe, part sedan, all value. The Wolfsburg comes with 4-motion all-wheel drive, and it comes with a 3.6-liter VR6 engine, which has been a workhorse for Volkswagen through many models, but that's an older technology engine. It's been around for 20 years, 20 plus years, 25 years, and is a workhorse and does everything really well. However, it likes gas, it's not good on gas, and the CC is built on an older platform. What I would do, and no disrespect to my pals at Volkswagen, I would go right next door to the Audi dealership and I would buy a new A4. The new A4 is the latest in technology, the latest platform, which is lightweight, much nicer interior. The turbo 4-cylinder engine with 252 horsepower has lots of usable torque, great horsepower for its size and weight, and is killer on fuel economy, and you get the all-wheel drive, okay? Now, there's an option to get a less powerful engine in the A4 line. It's got 190 horsepower, I believe, which is actually surprisingly good, but I would go for the 252 horsepower version. So yes, this is the opposite of the last question. Should I get a loaded non-premium brand or get the premium brand? In the case of Volkswagen, the one thing, this is a lot of people don't know this, it's the only car company outside of Mitsubishi that offers a longer warranty than its competitors. 4 years from Volkswagen. Mitsubishi's much longer at 10 years, but 4 years from Volkswagen gives you that premium coverage for those 4 years. And I like the CC. It's an older product now. I would go and spend a little bit more and get an Audi A4. Plus, if you're leasing it, the residual values on the A4 are quite good, which means that the amount that you're actually financing over the 3 or 4 years will be less, meaning your payments might actually be less on a more expensive A4 than they would be on the CC. All right, last question, because they're kind of almost 20 minutes here. This one is Vabhav, I hope I got that right, from Etobicoke. Great to hear your review from you. I learned a lot. Awesome work it is. That's like Star Wars. Awesome work it is. I'm planning to buy my first new car. What is your suggestion? Honda Civic EX, EXT, Impreza, Elantra GLS. I love driving and would definitely travel a lot after purchase. Thanks in advance. All right, Elantra, I would take that one out. No disrespect to my pals at Hyundai, but if you're going to buy an Elantra, you need to buy the Sport. It's got the independent rear suspension. For $25,000. It's quite nicely equipped with the things that you need. I did a review on it. Go to the channel and have a look for it. the Elantra with the non-independent suspension, the regular model, I'm not a fan of. A Honda Civic EX or EXT, so this is the 4-door. I do like that car a lot, and I do like the new Impreza a lot. So what I want you to do is I really want you to go and drive both the regular Civic, that's not the turbo engine, the 2-liter. I want you to drive the turbo, the EXT, and then I want you to drive the Impreza, which now has more horsepower and direct injection in their engine. I was probably lean towards, if you're going to do a lot of driving, I would probably go towards the Civic EXT because the suspension in the Civic is really good, especially if you're going to do a lot of driving. It handles very well. The turbocharged engine is really quite good. The Impreza also has made massive leaps with this new global platform they're building the Impreza on. So what I want you to do is to drive all three models, the non-turbo Civic, the turbo, and then the Impreza, and see which one you actually like. Which one you like the radio better. All of the things that you sit in the car and touch and use are not going to change. So you have to be able to sit in the car and touch and use them nicely and easily, and see what you actually fit in better and which is most comfortable. And don't just take it on a 5-minute drive. Take it out for longer. You said you're going to do a lot of driving in this car. Make sure it's comfortable. On the Plus for the Civic, excellent seats, really comfortable seats. The Impreza, positive for that, excellent outward visibility. So try them all and see what you think. I'm kind of leaning towards the EXT. All right, those are just some of the questions. You can see it takes quite a bit of time to go through them. Please, please, please send your emails in. Go to my website, motormouth.ca, click on the contact form, and you'll see a picture of me when I was much younger. I like keeping that one up there. It reminds me of the good old days. And send in your information and get your questions in. That's all the time I have for today. I'll see you next time, and keep watching.